so why tip my body instead? Only
35192. Want to send a text? You can watch at AlanCoxShow.com. Got a Poundcake sports break for you around 5:30. It's going to be the first of 2023. And I assume that he's very excited to perform it for you.
I am indeed. I've been practicing every break.
It's also a brand new Poundcake podcast on the iHeartRadio app. If you listen to us from out of state on the show, if you're one of our bureau chiefs, tell me where. Jared listens in El Segundo, California. Brian is in Hackensack, New Jersey. Joe is one of our bureau chiefs in Atlanta. Stevie Joe and Josh listen in St. Louis. Ryan's in Seattle. Catherine's in Tampa. And Ken listens in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank yous. Hey, this week, by the way, in addition to the $1,000 an hour, we're still putting people out in L.A. Last-ditch trips for you to get to our Alter Ego Festival. So 5:10, and going to this next break here, is going to be the next trip for you to win. Chili Peppers, Jack White, Muse, Fall Out Boy, Phoenix, and a handful of other bands. I think all those bands have new stuff out, too. So I know for the Chili Peppers, this is kind of the unofficial kickoff of their 2023 tour, is our Alter Ego Festival. So that's in L.A. It's January the 14th, right around the corner. And
yeah,
at the Kia Forum, we'll get you and a pal out there, fly out, put you up. I think we give you $1,000 in there, too. So all week on this show, around 5:10, is when you will hear that whole thing go down. Speaking of the iHeartRadio app, there's that talkback button there. You can always leave us messages if you like.
What up, gang? Welcome back. Happy New Year. I'm listening to yesterday's show, and anytime Perez Bilton comes on, the intro song, I know it's pre-recorded, but it always sounds like Mary or Poundcake, but I think Mary. It sounds like she's singing like along with it on the high notes, like her celebrity gossip. It's like she's harmonizing with it. It just sounds like that to me. All right, bye.
She is not.
I would like to hear
She
what it would
is,
sound like.
simply because it is one of her favorite bits of the entire week. And so, go ahead, sing, Mary. I'm sorry, Mary, that was your cue to come in and
I did.
harmonize.
That was me. I was singing that whole thing by myself. That
Harmonize
was
in
me.
the way that you're so prone to do. Phil,
With
I'm getting the sense that she's not taking it seriously.
That's my singing voice. It's not as
I
good.
know for a fact that.
Listen, yes, it is. You don't know me.
I do know you.
You've never met me.
This is Hot Celeb.
Maybe it is Poundcake. Ooh, maybe it is Poundcake. Maybe we should hear Poundcake do it.
Oh, boy. All right. Alan, you keep lying and not admitting you're wrong like the rest of your liberal friends.
Yeah.
About
Everything.
About Biden and Fauci apparently lying all the time because that Alex Jones Club, he's like, I'm not Fauci. I don't lie. Boy, Anthony Fauci was the greatest thing to ever happen to these dopes. Somebody to hang their hat on.
But also,
He's not even in the government anymore. And they're like, Aunt Fauci.
this is how things
Oh, my
work. When you
God.
get more information, things change. And that's,
Not for some people.
I know, it's ridiculous.
By the way, what happened, and I've had a couple people ask me, Mary Lynn,
What
happened to that tick that you had on your arm before we went to
wasn't a
break?
tick.
You
It
had
was-
some
I
big
think it was
old
ringworm.
pus-filled...
It
Didn't you-
wasn't pussy either.
Didn't you have a fluid-filled pustule on your body or something?
It's so cold in here. No fluid filled.
Well,
68.
turn it up.
It's almost gone.
Oh, yeah, right. You had ringworm underneath your opening for Chimera, by the way, on May 13th, ringworm.
My ringworm circle is opening for Chimera.
Yeah!
In case you didn't want to know. Yeah, so it's just like faint. I started putting Lotrimin Ultra on it. It started to go away.
Turn that up a little bit.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's okay. Because I came in after having a whiz, and I was like, well, it's chilly in here. It was so hot.
It was so hot during the meeting.
Yeah, because all that body heat. There's rarely that many people here. What'd you turn it up to?
72.
72.
It's not even going to get to that by the time the show's over.
Yeah, it will.
No, it won't.
That moves, baby.
But-
Pulp can move.
Yeah, you can't really tell anymore. I mean, you can see like barely an outline of it, but I
All right.
switched because I bought the Lotrimin specifically for ringworm, and that wasn't doing anything. So I switched to Lotrimin Ultra.
They make Lotrimin specifically for
Yes,
ringworm.
they make it specifically for ringworm, for athletes' feet, for like
Wait, but is
all
that
different kinds of
that's
stuff.
in the description or is
it
the
says
name?
it right on the bottle. Lotrimin ringworm.
It's called Lotrimin
swear.
ringworm. Does it
Yeah.
come in a tube?
Yes, just like regular Lotrimin, and so that wasn't working.
Tastes
'Cause I don't
better,
know
too.
anything about Lotrimin. I've heard of
It's
it,
an
but I don't. think-
antifungal cream. So
Well, then
I
I hope
switched
I never
from-
have to know anything. Lotrimin ringworm.
I switched from Lotrimin ringworm to Lotrimin Ultra, and it has
There
been
it is.
working.
Lotrimin AF.
AF, yeah, that's the one I have. Yeah.
Wow, I got ringworm AF, son.
But yeah, it's clearing up.
Lotrimin. So you don't know what you had
No, but whatever, this Lotrimin's working. So
because
it's some
you've had
sort of a
thrush.
fungus. That was in my mouth.
I understand. It's just something that people don't normally get.
Sure.
So we were rightly concerned that your ringworm might have been a bigger deal. And thank God it's not.
It's not. A little cream action, curing it up.
Lotrimin AF. Athlete's foot, ringworm, jock itch. I got to say, I was a wrestler for many years. High school, part of college. You can get sweaty. Yes, of course. Athletes, I never understood jock itch.
You know that it's just a yeast infection of the skin. You know that?
Yes.
In like your folds.
Yes. It seems to me maybe you've got too many folds if that's
I
happening.
don't have jock. Oh,
No, guys,
In general,
you don't have
yeah.
a jock itch. It's a nice way of saying, hey.
clean yourself.
Or I don't know. I mean, people get sweaty, and I understand bodies
Gotta
are different.
Dry
and,
yourself out, but that's why you get.
but
there's
come on,
powders
a
and all sorts of
fungal
stuff.
infection on your junk?
It's not on your junk. My ex used
Yes,
to get
it's
him.
on your junk or your inner thigh or your ass or
He
you know,
worked in a kitchen, so
it's
he
in the
would work,
jock area.
He'd work like 14-hour days in a hot kitchen, and he'd get that.
Homie, I worked in restaurants for many
You
years.
weren't ever in the kitchen, though.
In and out of the kitchen all night long.
That's not the same as being in front of a fryer or a hot grill for 14 straight hours.
Yeah.
That's
How
not
do
the
you
same.
you get jock itch from being in front of the hot grill?
You're sweating the whole day.
For 16
That's
straight
when I-
hours.
Yeah, but then you go home and you shower.
Sure,
Right, but
but
if you're 16 hours in front of the
60
thing,
hours a
gotta
week.
take a shower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Well, clearly it does. I'm just saying, like, after a long day of working the grill,
I mean, he
going
would
home and
shower,
showering
yeah.
every night doesn't fix it?
Not if you're.
That sounds like a
super
hormonal
sweaty.
thing.
It might be.
If you're very sweaty in front of the grill, because it would happen when I would work for my dad, because you're outside working all day and you're sweaty and stuff like that. So you have to gold bond up the old boys down
Wow.
there.
Get him
Make sure
going.
you stay dry in the crotchal area.
Crotchal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun word.
Can we ask Mary about her long lost brother? I don't know what that means.
Oh, I knew this was going to come up after I did Krishna Kwanzaa. I've never talked about this on air before.
Oh, this is from Chris McQuanzica.
Yeah, I've never talked about it on air before, but I did do a bit. I have a bit about how after my dad died, we found out that he might have another kid.
Oh, a secret family.
Not a secret family. So it's
Well, another kid is a secret family.
right. It's not as flashy as I make it sound in the joke, obviously. It's embellished for the joke. But essentially what happened was
I've never embellished any of my jokes, by the way.
you're right. Essentially, so the day that I wrote my dad's obituary, I came over to my sister's house and everybody was there and I was like reading it to them and I was like, how does this sound? My mom and my one brother were super quiet and weird. And I was like, what? And my mom was like, well, you might have to add someone to that obituary. And I was like, who did I leave out? And she, her and my brother kept being weird. And I was like, what? Like, tell me what's going on.
Oh, this was known to.
My mom and my oldest brother.
I see.
And
You
so-
were in the dark, but not everybody.
So
was.
everybody else was.
Yeah.
Just my mom and my oldest brother apparently knew about this. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, your dad might have another kid out there. I was like, what do you mean he might have another kid?
Tony was a stud.
I guess when my mom and my dad first started dating, he was also hooking up with a married lady. And he got the married lady pregnant, but she she had a husband. So she never told her husband I was sleeping with somebody else and now I'm pregnant. So she and my dad just called things off. And then he started seeing my mom. So this married lady never told her husband that their kid might not be theirs.
Never trust bitches, man. They be lying.
But here's my point, is that I was like, Mom, so what you want us to do is call this dude that no one in our family has ever had any type of interaction with.
And say your maybe dad is dead.
And say the dad that you grew up knowing is not your real dad. And your real dad is dead. And also, none of this might be true. Can you take a DNA test?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But she was hell-bent on the fact.
Let bygones be bygones.
Man.
She was hell-bent on the fact
Why?
that, like, that is your father's son. And
Right,
you
but
need to tell him he has a right to know. I'm like, we're not blowing up this guy's life right now. Like, that's ridiculous.
He's not 10, he's 40 or
right.
whatever.
Yeah, he was the same age as my older brother. So my mom got pregnant shortly after this lady got pregnant. So that's why my older brother knew about it. I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, so I have a joke about it where I talk about finding out my dad had another kid and how.
How did it turn
Is his
out?
real name the name in the joke?
No, his real name is, I say the name Carl in the joke because
Okay.
it's a funny name.
What's
but
the joke?
It's like a 3-minute
Oh,
joke.
don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
How did it turn out, though? Did he end up coming or? Did
No,
he
we
care?
didn't even contact
No,
him.
there's no way
There's
to do
no
it on the
point.
DL. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point. And can you even do a DNA test if the person's dead? Like, would they be able to compare it to my dad's DNA if
They
my
would be
dad
able
is
to.
dead?
They would
They
probably
would get
be
it,
able
you
to
guys.
compare it to you guys.
Oh,
Maybe.
that
Yeah.
makes
They
more
need
sense.
4.
But we
I
have
think they
different
need-
moms.
Yeah, but you can still.
Right, but your dad's DNA
Percentage
is still in
still-
your
I
body.
guess.
If there was any kind of match, they would go, "Yeah, this is your
You're
brother."
50% matched with this person. or
I was
whatever.
like, haven't you ever heard of like 23andMe? That's what they do.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, my mom brought it up because her thought process was, well, don't you think we should include him in the obituary? I'm like, Mom, no, nobody's ever met this guy.
I don't get these people who are insistent on. I say this, what I call this throwing tacks in the road.
There's no point.
I accuse Gwen of this all the time. We'll be doing something with our daughter or something, and the situation will be set.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. And Gwen will go, well, maybe you like to do. I go, there's Mom throwing tacks in the road again.
We already had it
yeah,
all set.
that's right. And
It's women, right?
she's trying to be cool. But I mean, that's what your mom's doing, throwing tacks in the road.
Yes.
This is a set situation. This isn't going to improve anyone's life.
That's exactly what we were saying when we were like, Mom, there's zero benefit.
It's
to
a guy
doing
he
this.
didn't know.
Right.
Would you care if a stranger died? No.
Exactly. And now what? Now you're going to, if his parents are still married, we're going to blow up their marriage?
Right.
Well, maybe he cares that he's got a celebrity sister.
The Mary
The
Santora.
Mary Santora.
Headlining Hilarities, January 15th.
Did you immediately look him up on Facebook and see
Yes.
what he looks like?
So I guess my brother went
The
to school
trouble
with him.
is, you also want to make sure that this dude's not hot, so
No,
that
he's
none of you. Okay.
My older brother went to school with him, so he's showing us pictures,
Dude,
and
that's
then
wild.
everyone's like, "Oh, he definitely looks like Dad." Blah blah. I was like, "We all look so generic. We're all just blonde hair, green eyed kids. Like we all look like every other white person. So
But
it's not
did
like
he look? But you know, if somebody
I
looks
don't-
like you.
I mean, not really.
But okay, but how can you play that cool when you have a half brother in
Maybe.
But it's not
half-brother.
even. We don't even know if it's for sure
Right.
him.
But I don't
You're
know.
putting
if
a
I
lot
could-
of eggs in that basket.
But
in
I
the
don't-
maybe basket.
I don't know if I could do that. It's like going to school, seeing this dude every day,
I
knowing
don't
that
know.
could
No,
be
no,
my
no.
half brother.
I don't know that my brother knew about it at the time.
At the time, okay.
They were friends on Facebook because they went to school together. So I
That's
think my
messy.
mom or dad might have told him down the road. I don't think that my brother knew that growing up.
If you are the half brother and you know, call in right now 216-578-1007.
I don't think he knows. No one contacted him. No one
Yeah.
reached out or anything. Unless his mom opened up about this story
She'll take it to
for
the
some
death.
reason. yeah, I can't imagine she would.
I feel about because think about all the child, like maybe not child support, but if they got divorced and like kids come into play once it's divorced, like custody. This guy had to uproot his life to take care of this kid, and it could possibly not be his kid. I have trust issues. I'm not even straight, and I got trust issues. That's ridiculous.
I have a 23andMe in process as we speak because I don't, I'm always like, I don't really know what I am. I did like an Ancestry.com thing, but that's not a DNA thing.
Right.
That's like tracing your family through whatever. So I finally did a 23andMe, and they give you a timeline, and they said, we're genotyping your whatever. And so it's going to be done in a few weeks. But what comes out of these, I want to know if I'm Welsh or Irish or whatever. I know I'm white, but I want to know more specifically than that. On my dad's side. We know what we are on my mom's side. But what comes out of these a lot more and more is people finding out that they have siblings. I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, and these companies are starting to tell people, hey, FYI, when you do these 23andMe, if there's anything hinky in your family, you might find out some things you don't.
Yeah.
It's like in the disclaimer now, when I took the thing out, they go, hey, FYI,
So you know.
just so you know, I don't remember how legalese they put it in diplomatically in corporate speak, but, results may differ from
Sure.
the familial, whatever.
So actually, the night that my mom told us all about that was the same night my Brian. Why can't I talk about him right today?
My Brian said, honey.
No, it's the first night that he met my family.
Yeah.
So everyone was in town, obviously, because my dad passed away. And the night that he came over for the first time to meet all my brothers and sisters is when this bomb was dropped on everybody. And we kind of walked outside because we were leaving not shortly after that. We had to get his daughter home. And I was like kind of messed up and I was like angry and aggravated and all this kind of stuff. And I as soon as we stepped outside of my sister's house, Brian looks at me and he just goes, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't even know. Like, this is not the way I thought you were going to meet my family, to be honest with you. But yeah,
What if you found out that this dude had purchased a bunch of foot pics from you?
that would be weird. If he ended up being my half brother, oh, that would be so gross. I mean,
He'd be
if
like,
it
I
were
Back
me-
to your sister's OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah, even worse if he was on my sister's
I
OnlyFans.
recognize those feet. Yeah.
Like if we had the same feet. Like he bought the pictures of mine and he's like, wait a minute, those look just like mine. Are those our dad's feet?
I could just be taking pictures of my own feet. Alan, my jaw dropped when Mary did that joke on stage.
Yeah, because I've never talked about it on air before, but I
Right.
do it in my stand-up routine. I have a whole, section about my dad passing away, and that's one part of it. And I'm actually surprised that it's taken this long for somebody to say something about it, because I was like, I'm not going to bring it up if it comes up after someone sees the show. And I've been doing that joke since my dad died. I've been doing that joke almost 2 years. So there you go.
No one has come forward.
No one's blown up the spot. No one said it.
They're
Or at least not
too-
on air,
They're too. They want to keep it professional.
Keep the peace.
That's right. They're too embarrassed. They're like,
Or maybe they don't want to ask.
I don't
want
wanna be associated with
more details,
this.
but they don't want to be the guy who asks for them.
I'm sure there would be a part of your brain that would want information you didn't have. But by the time you're 40 and you have your own family and your own kids, like, who
Right.
cares? I didn't know this guy when he was alive.
Right.
Who cares if I find out?
Right.
Only downside.
There was no positives to the situation, and that's what we were all trying to tell my mom, and she's like, I don't know.
That's why I'm so
Your
surprised
mom
you
likes
guys
to
had
stir the pot.
She
though.
loves it. She loves drama more than any
Who?
person. My mom, more than any person I've ever met.
Why?
in my
It's so
life.
unnecessary.
She just likes drama, man.
She likes blowing up other people's
I
lives.
think so. Yeah, actually.
Well, that goes beyond drama. I mean,
Yeah.
drama's like, did you hear what Jane did at work?
Mm-hmm.
That's drama.
She would be like, "Did you hear what Jane did? I'm gonna call her husband."
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Make sure he knows.
Right.
Okay, let me give you this trip here. We got him this week, on this show at least, around 5:10. I think you can win him with Rover, too. Alter Ego Festival is happening January the 14th. That ain't far off, boy. That is a week from this Saturday with Fall Out Boy and the Chili Peppers and Muse and Jack White, many more. You and a pal will get you out there to the Kia Forum in L.A. for the whole shebang. So listen closely and good luck.
Now, your chance at a trip to our 2023 iHeartRadio Alter Ego. Text the nationwide keyword ALT to the number 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this